What's going on, crazy world? Welcome to another episode of the Black Sheep Perspective. I am honored today to have a very close friend of mine here. He's a brother from another. He's someone who I truly share a special relationship with for many reasons. We've both been through similar stories, similar upbringing, similar been at the bottom of the barrel, kicked and screamed and made our way back up. He's literally a local legend here in Miami. He's got some of the most respect. He's beloved by all the Miami people who know him. The man is a professional. As a boxer with a 14-1 record, he was the Intercontinental champion, cruiserweight champion. He's also a professional mixed martial artist in MMA. He's a professional. He's also a professional in dirty boxing, which is a great new league. Big shout out to Mike Perry, John Jones, and all those people at First Round Management who got a good thing going on with with dirty boxing. This man has done it all, man. This man is literally the epitome of what a fighter is, And this fight career has done a lot of things for him and taken him in many directions. And we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to catch up. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get some good pointers. World, I want y'all to welcome my brother, Ulysses the Monster Diaz.
My brother, I appreciate you. Thank you. All my people out there, what's up?
Yuli, man, you were literally one of my first podcast guests when I started this shit, dude. Back in 2019, like you said, man, back when you met. And by the way, big shout out to your beautiful, amazing wife, Ashley. We were just talking about you, girl. We're gonna have you back on too. You guys just started dating, man, and then eventually we had our first. Our brotherhood was way established before that, but here we are, man.
I know. Listen, congratulations. This is a beautiful studio. We were doing it in your living room with your dogs running around.
Yeah.
It was a little wild, so it's awesome to see you stepped up, and it looks great, dog. And I love what you're doing. I love all the guests you have on. Are great.
Thank you, bro. This weekend, I shout out to my brand manager. His name is Wes. Also, we went to Art Basel. And me and Wes got to know each other pretty well. I just hired him, and our friendship is growing, so we had a lot of time to spend together. So we got to know each other. And long story short, when I told him different phases about my life and what I've been through, he was like, "Man, how come nobody knows this?" I'm like, "Well, close friends of mine know, people that I fuck with know." And he's like, "Yeah, but other people need to know, because when they don't know the type of shit you've been through, it's kind of hard for them to connect. It's kind of hard for them to realize just how big of a deal it is to make it this far, even though this far isn't like there yet. It's not the biggest, spot yet to where you're going to get to where I'm going to get, but it's come a long way because we've been through some shit." And in that whole ordeal that we were talking, I thought to myself, damn, Yuli, I'm about to have Yuli on the podcast on Sunday. And, I think this is one of those times, man, where it'd be cool to let people know, man, like we really were in those trenches, dude. We really were.
We really were. And to be honest with you, I truly appreciate every day I wake up. You know what I mean? It's right. A good day. From what we've been through and what we came out of, again, you wake up every day, you're grateful, you look back, and I'm very thankful for everything I went through as well. That's what made me who I am today. That's what got me to the point I am today. But yes, you're absolutely right. We did go deep in the trenches for a while.
I used to tell people because we're private, but we're not like, we're okay with talking about shit, right. We're not boastful. We're here trying to talk about our prison experiences like it's something to show off and flex. But you do need to take that consideration because it's something that people should know for different reasons. You see why is this character? What is it about this person that helped make him or her who he or she is? And our backdrop goes deep into that. If people only knew, like when I first met you, it was for fighting. Right. I was a coach. I was an assistant coach at Evolution fight team over there. Shout out to Dan. He still got his thing going on. And you came in there, wanted to sharpen you've always had hands.
It was actually called Fight Academy back then too.
Was it? It was called that. You're right. That was the old school name before they changed it to a more family type place. Yeah. So you stepped off in there. Immediately we kind of gravitated toward what's up, food, this, that, whatever. We kind of knew like we were from the same type of cloth, right? And I kind of started helping you with your kicks and, sharpening you up a little bit, because, again, you already had the hands. You were getting the footwork with some boxing that you were doing with other coaches who, again, are still in the game, Tigres and all these people. And then we started growing a bond. And then somewhere there, when we were growing our bond, I remember I would ask you in between training, so what do you do, fool? And you're like, And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we can leave that alone. And, nah, it's all good, dog. You know, I ain't ashamed of it. But I was like, no, it's cool. And then you're like, what about you? I'm like, you know. And then at that point, I was like, well, shit, we might as well, get to doing some business together aside from this fight game. And that's when really our friendship grew.
That's right.
We were, I was the hub to ship from China.
That's when the trust grows, you know what I mean? When you're doing just the stuff underground and behind the scenes, and you're trying to hide things, and you're hiding things together, and you can trust each other. And
exactly.
The loyalty grows, and over time, you my brother. You know what I mean? Like this is just like having a conversation, so anywhere.
Right,
so
right.
That's what makes it good about.
And part of the unique bond that we immediately had was you've always been a good-hearted motherfucker since day one. And anybody who knows you knows that. Forget the gold teeth, the fight, the scars, and all that shit. You still have always been a great-hearted dude. And that's why people got mad love and respect for you. Like we had Jose here, the last podcast, and he was showing nothing but love for you. But something that we realized is that we were both looking for fighting to help take us out the game. I was fighting. I was about to have my second pro fight, and I was trying to go into the coach's direction because I was already a little bit older. I started late, and I was just saying, man, I got to get out this game. I just can't keep fucking selling all kind of crazy shit and living this life. And you were trying to do the same thing, and that's it's ironic that that's what brought our paths together. And yet, fighting did take you out the game.
Yeah.
And you've come so far with it, bro.
But from the time we met, because me and you met about 2008, 2009. I had just got out of prison. I was trying to figure things out. Young man trying to figure things out. I always loved fighting. I had done amateur fighting when I was like 19, 20. So let me give this fighting thing a try. But again, it costs money to get anywhere, and especially back then, they weren't even really paying for fights.
Right.
So then I kept kind of, being in the underground and doing my thing, for a long time, for years, up until 2016. Where, everybody knows my story. I've said it many times. I had this come to God moment. And honestly, I was just sick of my own shit, dog. It was just like the wake up and that mission. And, just from where I'm at now to looking back then, like, dog, I wasn't really ever in a good mood, dog. And nothing ever lasted more than a split second. And just, again, tired of my own shit, dog. And got back into fighting. And from that moment, to now, I tell everybody, fighting saved my life. It's giving me I got a beautiful family, beautiful house, I got a beautiful life, and
you hold the fastest knockout in BKFC history.
Yes, sir.
You got one of the dopest, most bloodiest wars with another future Hall of Famer in Thiago Alves. I think that was for the first belt.
It was for the first belt,
right? In the BKFC, yeah. Yeah, man, it really has played that role in your life. And then look at you, you bounce in so many different fighting organizations. What is that going on? Is that mine?
Is it mine?
It might be yours. we got somebody. We got the wifey calling in. Is that what it is?
Sorry, guys. My wife is out of town, so I was just making sure everything's good.
By the way, man, speaking of your wife, she's amazing. She's a pro wrestler. She's got a great reputation. She was at WWE. Now she's with TNA. And what they're fighting? What state are they at right now?
She's in El Paso, Texas. She's she's a veteran, man. She was at WWE for 12 years. Yeah, she's with TNA now for a little over 2 years. And she just loves the sport. She's a veteran of the sport. She's, huge, like, role model in the locker room for the women. And it's given her an amazing life, too, you know what I mean? And that's something that really brought us together because we're both in combat sports. Both have to take care of, what we eat, how we rest, everything. And, it was match made in heaven.
Yeah.
That, too.
And you just told me earlier off cam, you guys just had your 1 year anniversary from being married.
Yeah, we're about to. So, it's a week from today, a little less than a week from today, December 12th, is our 1 year wedding anniversary. And then we've been together 6 years.
That's awesome, brother. That's really amazing. Yeah, I'll never forget our podcast, too. She was my first big celebrity. I remember, to this day, what's with Damien? Damien hit you up. Damien was the biggest fan of hers. He was fanboying.
That's right,
and you even, bro, you're such a real one that you did him a favor and you let him have a FaceTime with her, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that happened. Yeah.
I remember.
Shout out to my brother, Damien, man. Much love, brother. Can't wait to see you soon. Uli, This fight game, brother, you're 42. Four. 44. I mean, one can easily say you still got plenty of fights in you, but they come at a price. They come at a price, the wear and tear of the training. We were talking about the severe tendonitis that you have. You have is it tennis elbow or is it golfer?
I think it's both because I have it on both sides of my elbow.
That's the same thing that I have. There you go.
Pain.
Yeah. So, that shit's gonna linger. Obviously, I know you're gonna try to fix that, but you got to start at some point seeing that, not the finish line, but what's next, that next chapter, and I'm sure you've had this conversation, whether with close people or maybe in another podcast, but what goes through your mind when you think about, when are you actually going to seriously think about what's next, or are you already in that phase and it's just something that we don't know about?
Well, I've been in that phase for a while, just not so much like in retirement in my head, but just once I got into the fight game and, a few years in, I started seeing the opportunities I was getting, not just from fighting outside of it, but because of fighting. You know what I mean? What was getting me the doors they opened was me constantly being on these good shows and fighting and training and everything. I lost my train of thought.
Well, I can help you on that.
Yeah.
Part of all the fighting that you've done and what it's done for you was you did a movie with 50 Cent.
Right.
What was that experience like? And what was that movie?
So that movie was Den of Thieves, and that experience was, again, something that just, we were talking about earlier too, how life just, from one second to another, things change. And I was in Miami. My coach was in Atlanta. He told me to fly up. He was part of the movie because he knows the director. And I met the director. Told me, hey, man, you want to be in the movie? And I got the part. We talked about earlier, too. They had filmed they filmed a lot. I was there for like 3 months. We filmed a lot. I only came out like in a blink of an eye in the movie.
I gotta tell people that story because you're trying to tone it down. Yuli had to do literally like about 50 takes of just him jumping rope when the garage door goes up and it exposes who's in there. A bunch of different fighters, training, getting ready. And so Yuli said, man, I can't lie, Wes, for like 2 hours, they just kept filming me. They did every angle. I was jumping, sweating this. And he was like, boy, your boy gonna get hella fucking camera time. He said that premiere came out and he was like, damn, they left that whole thing out, bro.
I shouldn't even made the movie, not even a blink of an eye. Man. But I'm grateful for the scene. I'm grateful for the opportunity, man. And like I said, I was up there for 3 months. I got to hang out with these guys. We worked out every day together. And again, it's all through fighting that opened these doors. Right,
yeah. And also, you've done TV shows, as well as what, talk shows? Have you been in any series yet or not?
No series yet. I just filmed a movie a few months, but I want to say beginning of the year. We finished filming a movie. Should be coming out soon. It's called Night Shift. My boy Julian Booth is the director. He's got a few movies out, and he's got one in the works now for next year that I'll be a part of too. So again, something that fell on me, but it's awesome. It's a great opportunity that I'm taking head on.
When you walk into your fights nowadays, this is many years into your career, do you still get that nervous bug? Is that something that you've toned down, or you've never been one to really get nervous? You get more hyped, you get more vicious. What goes through your head going into that part of the fight?
Yeah, no, I think everybody, whether you admit it or not, I think everybody's nervous. You know what I mean? It's just a bit of the unknown. So, yeah, I still get that nervous bug, but, it's the fighting through it and just getting, once that bell rings, like it's something different, you know what I mean? Like you're just ready. But do
you need that first hit? Does that first hit do something for you?
It does.
Not?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
That's not good, but
right.
Yeah. Sometimes I do need to get hit and wake up and be like, oh shit, you're in a fight, bro. Wake up,
Can you if I ask you right now, does it come immediately to mind, what was the hardest time you got hit? The hardest punch you took?
The hardest punch I took. You know what? My son was asking me that the other day too. Man, I know during sparring one time I got hit in the top of the head, and I've never been knocked out. Thank God I've never been knocked out. Never put to sleep. But that rocked me. I had my whole body shaking. I've been dropped with body shots.
What's going on, beautiful world? Just want to remind you guys that this podcast is officially hitting its 5th year anniversary, and it's all because of you. Truly appreciate all the love and support that every one of you guys have showed. And if you haven't struck that subscribe button, please do now. And if you like the content that you're hearing, how about you put that thumbs up? Now let's get back to the podcast. Oh, those are killer too.
yeah,
Oh, good liver shot. Oh,
yeah, they've hit me with some good shots where I got dizzy, but I've never been knocked out or anything like that. One time in a bare knuckle fight, I got caught. I was fighting a lefty, and I got caught with he winged a left hand and caught me and flipped me. But I got up, I finished the fight, and I ended up winning the fight by knockout.
damn, for real.
Yeah, but I got up, I was dizzy. It was the first time I was like, whoa, trying to get the ropes.
It says a lot about your chin, you know, and then you look like you can take a motherfucking Mack truck.
Chew on coconuts and shit. Sugar cane.
My boy, look, you mentioned your son, man. You know, again, when we were talking earlier, your son truly idolizes you, man. And everybody who has met your son, we love him to death. He's a character. He's funny as hell. He does his rap vocals. He does the what's it called, the T-Pain thing.
But he's a podcast character. He could talk.
Yeah, you put him on podcast with you, and he just rocks like nothing. He doesn't even skip a beat.
He's the man.
He's natural with it.
He is. He really is.
And it's an amazing relationship you have with him. What do you think about him possibly fighting one day? Does he ever talk about that, or is that something that doesn't cross his mind?
No, his thing is football, man. He's like super head-on dedicated with football. You know, he likes to train. He likes to wrestle. He likes to throw hands. But I wouldn't want him to fight, honestly. I think, he has a lot more options. I mean, football's tough too, but he's a lot smarter than me in school and just in general. So I think he has a bright future, even, but sports will get him somewhere.
12 years old, right?
12 years old right now, yeah.
Drilling his ass off. You just recently posted a video of him doing his drills, man. He looked good. He looks like a nice D tackle as of right now because of, his size, but I would imagine. But 12 is what grade is that? 7th, 8th?
7th grade.
7th grade. So he's in 7th going to 8th next year.
Yes.
So technically he's in junior high, I guess.
Exactly. Junior high, yeah. Middle school.
Which school?
He's in Doral.
Doral? Yeah. Okay. Every time I talk about schools, I never know where the hell they're at. I feel like there's so many.
Leave that out.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if people don't know where he's at.
Okay.
Actually, I don't matter. It don't matter.
The direction he's going, brother. Listen, he knows you're a very transparent person with him as a father.
Yes.
And I have these conversations with people in regards when it comes to parenting. Matter of fact, Jose and I had a great conversation about this involving, his kids and whatnot. What type of father are you when you know the shit that you've been through? You know the shit that you used to do when you were younger in regards to running the streets back then with, I think it was 6, 7 boys, no?
Right.
6, 7 boys. And, you know what's a possibility. And he sees the tattoos. He hears the conversation. He's met the friends. Sometimes we think, as people like you and I, like my niece is one of those people like, damn, are we being too outspoken in front of her? Should we be kind of fast forwarding her into this type of information, or should we not keep her in the closet, close to that, because that's never good, but are we doing it too much? How are you like with your son, and what would you suggest?
Well, I don't think so you shouldn't be talking about certain things in front of them, you know what I mean? But and if you are and they're in the room, I like to be, upfront with my son about things. When he asked me about my stories, about my past, about, prison and just everything in between throughout life. And I'm honest with him. I told him, look, dog, through these times, these things happened, and I was a different person trying to figure shit out. And thank God for all that, because I could tell you that's not the way to go. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have a head start. Right. I had to figure things out. You're gonna start from that point forward. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be successful because of that. You know what I mean? It took me a while to figure things out. You're gonna have a jump start. So I'm honest with whenever he asks me about whatever it is, anything in my past, we talk about it.
Is there a tough question that he's asked that you can remember, quite like that was a difficult one to answer? I had to kind of, be on the slide with that one.
I guess when when he asks like about drugs and stuff, sometimes like I think he's too young to hear some stories.
Yeah.
So I just keep that. I keep that till we'll talk about that at a different time.
Do you tell him that at some point you did anything, or do you just tell him, hey, I don't want to talk about drugs because right now I don't think you're mature enough to understand?
No, I kind of hint towards like when he asks like I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah. I've
dabbled.
I did dabble. I've been there.
And then you just leave it there, and then
just leave it there. Yeah, he's too young to know the stories and all that. You know what I
No,
mean?
I agree. But I definitely know there's a lot of people out there who would say, at 12 people start smoking weed, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's going on at school and vapes and all that and all types of shit. But the reason I'm I even say what I say to him is the whole point behind it is to tell him, look, I've done it, I've tried it. This is bullshit. It's not gonna get you anywhere.
Right.
It's gonna actually go. You're gonna go in reverse every time you try this. You know what I mean? And he's a super motivated kid. You know, he's with me 24/7. You know what I mean? So he sees he wants to be the best version of me. You know what I mean? So he's on his way.
You got him eating right on the healthy tip?
Yes, he eats right. He loves eating right. He's like big on his physique. He's constantly flexing in the mirror. You know what I mean? He works out all the time. So yeah, he's big on eating good too. And he's very smart. He does his own diet. He cooks for himself. Everything.
Has he started squatting yet?
Yes. Well, not with weight. I don't have him squatting with no weight on his back yet.
You know, I kind of heard that wasn't as accurate as what people think, man. And please, anybody want, go ahead and contest it. But I literally just saw some specialist who says that's actually a fib. It's not true. It doesn't stunt the growth unless high placement can actually not stunt the growth, but I think cause like a pinch. But it won't stunt the growth in regards to that. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Well, I don't have him doing squats yet. I'll tell you right now why. And you know it. First squats, I don't want no weight on his back at that age. It's not about stunting the growth.
I get you.
I was tell you. It's just more about I don't want that weight on his back right now. Another thing is that I know we're gonna get into anyways. Is he in 2023 when he turned 10 years old, he got diagnosed with cancer. We found cancer in his leg, on his femur bone. So he has a rod in his leg. So he's still building muscle on that bone. You know what I mean? He's still working on it. But he's strong as an ox. He's 12 years old and he beat cancer. He's the biggest warrior I know. You know what I mean? And not because he's my son, just like anybody that's been through that is amazing. And I know many families that I was with for that year I was in the hospital with him that go through it. So it's amazing to see what he's doing now after going through all that and the dedication and as motivated as he is.
When you found out that he had that cancer, and if you don't mind sharing the name of it, because it's a bone disease cancer, right?
Osteosarcoma.
Osteosarcoma. So when you found out that he had that, were you able to deal with it with enough confidence, whether because of your religious beliefs or because you just thought he's strong enough that it didn't phase you as much as you thought it would? Or was that probably your biggest challenge, and you had to kind of put on that fake mask because deep down inside you were scared? You were scared of shit.
Bro, I was devastated. Yeah. It was the scariest shit I've ever been through in my life. Scariest moment ever, worst news I could ever hear ever in my fucking life. Yeah, no, I was scared. I was nervous. Yes, I did put on that face because I can't show him that, And I'd even tell people, like, hey, no crying in the room, you know what I mean?
Like that.
It's scary. There was a lot of families going in there that were in different phases when we got there. Some people were starting with us. Some people were ending when we got there, you know what I mean? Some people didn't make it, you know what I mean? And
he did see that, right?
You see that on a daily basis. You're there, you know? So it was the scariest time of my life, brother. And it's never like, like doctors don't tell you like, hey, everything's going to be all right. Everything's like, truthful. And they kind of gotta watch what they say. So they tell you it's kind of like worst case scenario sometimes.
Right.
But listen, he's doing amazing. He's healthy. He's blessed, So thank God.
Oh, yeah, Yuli. And I tell you what, brother, your life it's taken you through a whole lot of different types of roller coasters. But on the more recent tip, with your rise to fame and everything you've been doing, and again, we're talking about the movies and music videos and shit with your wife, WWE, so on and so forth. You've done some celebrity type shit. You've hung out with some unique characters of sort. You played in the celebrity games. You've hung out with people like, to me, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, Miami's favorite. I know people think it's D-Wade. We do love D-Wade, but really it's Udonis Haslam. He's that's right, 100% home team. Everything about him is Miami, bro. And I know that you had a little bond with him. You guys played on the same thing and whatnot. Tell us some crazy stories, man. You've done a lot of traveling with Pitbull. That's one of your closest friends. You've been with him in many places of the world. You've done many places in the States, when filming, when fighting, when just traveling. What's some stories that people here that haven't heard about?
Man, honestly, I can't tell one story about anyone, you know what I mean? But I could tell you that I've traveled the world, you know what I mean? I've traveled the world with Pitt. I've traveled the world through fighting. through my wife, being next to my wife with her work, and just I've been in movie sets. I got to do a movie with 50. It's been amazing, man. Life is great, and it's amazing these things I throw at you. And there's life is full of stories. You know what I mean? There's not a day that goes by that I can't tell you, man, some crazy shit happened. But good thing is that we keep that to ourselves, and we know that, yeah, man, there's a lot of dope stuff that happened, man. And
is there places in the world that get your attention that you really want to travel to for certain reasons?
I would like to go to Thailand. I've never been.
Yeah, man.
I want to go there. I want to kind of like train there, do the fighter thing there.
Do at least 2 weeks there,
yeah.
at least.
Yeah. I'm going to Hawaii with my wife soon. I've never been there.
Nice. That's always beautiful.
I still talk to the homies, to John Bernard and John Vicente.
Yeah, of course.
From Hawaii. Shout out to the boys.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them. I seen Bernard fighting over there at BK as well, man.
Fucking beast.
Animal, dog. Holy shit. That comeback win that he had. Jesus.
I was actually in his corner for that fight.
Really?
Yeah, he fought Harold McQueen, which is a beast too. And bro, Harold hit him and fucking Bernard face planted. He with his arms back. He was out. Boom, hit the ground. Woke up. They gave him a count. He woke up, got the rest of the round in, and next round just came and machined them, bro. He just like a zombie, just fucking in his grill. And yeah, man, shout out to John. He's a beast.
Yeah, man.
But we know those guys. These guys been fighting for a long fucking time too.
Yeah, they have, man. We had that click back then, bro. We had a fun group of guys right there. I think that's awesome, dog, that you still keep in touch with them like that, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I bumped into John again a few years ago, and then when I
touch bases with him before you go over there for sure.
Yeah. And he's no. So I talk to him all the time. I actually texted him today, but he lives in North Carolina now. He lives in Charlotte, North Carolina now.
Who, Bernard?
Yeah, Bernard.
But
Jonathan
Jonathan's still over there.
Yeah, I still talk to Jonathan. I hit him up. He knows I'm going. But yeah, those dudes are some OGs in the fight game too.
Are you somebody who's into like the nature shit? Like kind of like the wilderness, or maybe like about spearfishing or some shit like that, or not?
The shit is I'm into everything, dog. Like I don't mind. Like I'm not like a picky dude where I gotta be doing certain things. I'm down to learn new shit at all times. You know what I mean? I'm very curious. I'm very down to do whatever. So, Hawaii, I want to like try to go around the island. It's not that big. You know what I mean? We're going to Honolulu, so. Yeah, like a nice little couple-hour drive and check out everything. You know what I mean? Go to the beach, hit everything. The waterfalls. I want to check it out.
I like that. My brother's girlfriend, Cherie, shout out to her. She's from Hawaii, and she's already got my brother going there. I think almost twice a year now. They took my niece too, and nothing but the best things, man. Best fucking photos, best everything. The food. They
tropical island, dog.
Bro, they speared like a fucking tuna of some sort, and right there, brought it up on the beach right there, and to them it's like, hey, we got a tuna, it's big as fuck, everybody come eat. And then right there starts and one of the things that they do for I don't know, I guess like first timers, like kind of like break the ice thing, is they challenge you to eat the eyeball, to bite the eyeball. And of course my gangster ass niece went in. Yeah. Oh, if it wasn't the eyeball, it was it's the eyeball. It's the eyeball. I think it was the eyeball. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's a G. My brother did a really good job with her, and
that's awesome.
She'll get her hands dirty. She's pretty fearless. She'll grab any animal,
I mean, how old is she now? I remember when she was a little girl.
She'll be 18 in January, bro.
Yeah, dog. No, wow.
Yeah, man. She'll be 18.
Girl.
We were just hanging out. We had an amazing Friendsgiving again. I know all my friends are watching right now. Man, I love all of y'all. We had an amazing Friendsgiving yesterday. I think it was the final count was like 24, bro. We literally got everyone who's in the closeness of our close group friend. We only missed one, Alan, you piece of shit. He's the only one who missed out. Everybody else was there. And here Demaya, who's been fucking with us, rocking with us since 3.5 years old, bro. 3.5 years old, straight up. That's why I was telling you, do you think, when we were talking off cam or on cam, do you think that, we're kind of fast forwarding them too much? She's been hearing and seeing a whole lot for the longest time. You can think that we're trying to be quiet. Man, they hear all that shit, And now here she is.
And the kids are fucking got a great memory too. They store that shit for years.
Yeah,
you said this shit when I was 6.
Yeah, and exactly. And they know how not to spit it out. They know how to keep that. There's little cheap muscles with everything else, but they know how to hold back on shit that they pick up from their parents. Right. Even if it's just an internal thing that they really don't express, it is getting logged in. They're seeing it. You feel me? And yet, dog, yesterday, man, we love her to death, bro. She was literally Santa's helper. Like, she was just running around, grinding with my mom, acting like she was just catering and serving, even though she's one of us. She literally is one of us, And yeah, man, it's been a while, man. It's been a long time coming on that tip, man. That's really dope. But yeah, travel wise, man. Thailand, Hawaii, that sounds great. Those are definitely full of.
Yeah.
What about?
I just came back from. Where'd I go? Damn, I went to Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Poland. I just went there. Shout out to Armed Forces Entertainment. My boy Lex McMahon from
Lex.
Time FC. He got me. He got Eric Anders. He had Charles Rosa, Shorty Torres.
Damn, it hurt to see Eric take that loss, by the way.
I know, man.
Fuck, man. I love Eric Anders,
Shout out
dog.
to your boy. He just opened up a gym in Alabama.
Man, yeah, he's a dope dude, man. I fuck with him, yeah. But anyhow, yeah.
Dog.
So, damn, you did that.
Yeah. And that's actually, so the first time we went to Poland, I was there for like 10 days. Eric was with me, and then we had some another 2 fighters. And then this time, that was our group. We just went to all those, the Eastern Bloc, basically. It was dope. And we trained the troops. Every day we go to a different camp. And we train the Marines and the Army, and bro, we train some.
That's fire, dog.
Denmark, we did wrestling, and we do little seminars. It's more to have fun, to have a camaraderie with the troops, and have the troops have some some fighters or whatever.
Damn, so outside of training, I never knew that, dog. That's fucking dope.
Yeah,
outside of training with the actual troops, because that's probably the biggest highlight, I would think, per se.
Yeah.
What were some of the other highlights, like from what cities, like the building strucers, or maybe some mountainous shit? Like, what was it that got your attention?
So it's dope. Those places, I didn't see any mountains. I was always like in old towns, and the dope thing about those trips is like we'll fly into like Poland and we'll drive through Estonia, all through those countries, all the way down or up or whatever it is. And it's hours of driving, so you see the countryside and you get to hang out. It was cool, but yeah, the highlight is definitely training the troops, and they take us on base. We have lunch with them. We meet the higher ups, dog, and we see kind of behind the scenes a little bit. So it's dope to see what our country's doing in other countries to protect us, dog.
Sorry for the interruption, folks, but I need to remind you guys just how fucking awesome you are. This podcast is hitting its 5th year, and we are celebrating by shouting you guys out. Thank you so much for showing all the love and support that you've been doing so for so long, and let's continue it. It's great to see that Lex is doing that, man.
Lex is a Marine, you know what I mean? Lex is Lex served, did his time. He was in Black Hawk Down times and shit,
Lex, you watching right now? When you got some time, man, I would love to have you on the podcast, man.
He's the man.
I know he is. I've heard nothing but great things about him, and I know he had Titan FC going on, and I saw when he fought and he had his training camp. I followed his training camp.
I was in his corner.
I saw all that, bro. It was great to see that, and then went how the fight went and everything, bro. And then he fought again after that.
He fought again after I lost that fight.
Yeah, I saw that.
Got his orbital cracked, but he's a fucking G, dog. He did that shit both times because he's part of, shout out to A Hero, that's his foundation, which is for like suicide awareness for vets
with PTSD type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
A Hero, they have they do a lot with the vets, and both times, both his checks went straight to checks and sponsorships and everything. All his money
went to the organization.
Yeah. And both times, first one he won, but he got hit fucking hard.
He did. I know he kind of spun out, but then he gathered his thought. He did the takedown. He did the take. Well, nobody thought was gonna happen. He did the takedown.
Exactly. He didn't even think it. I tell him he got cracked and he sat in the invisible chair.
Yeah. Bro, you listen, man. Yeah, there's even the best of the best. I think John Jones might be the only one who we haven't seen like wobble. Everybody at GSP, Mighty Mouse, who is literally my all-time favorite, he's gotten fucking knocked out when he went to one championship, and he's been clipped at the UFC.
And he won the fight with the same shit he got knocked out with.
Exactly, on the rematch, which was beast, shout out to Mighty Mouse. But what I'm saying is everybody gets cracked, fool. We all get that one.
That's the game, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Throwing punches at each other.
And it's life-altering, bro. When you see that, you're like, oh, shit, that's that other side.
No, I've definitely, I've been cracked. And it's a part of the game. Sometimes you get cracked harder in sparring than you do in real fights. You know what I mean?
100%. And that's the scary part about this fight career. And I think by hearsay, and I will give Joe Rogan the biggest shout out when I think it's because of him that he was able to talk about this on his platform, that sparring goes too often and too hard, and it's too often it's too hard, and it's just too often. Period. 3 times a week, even twice a week, fool. Like, if you're doing that, it better be with the right partners and at a certain intensity and level. If you're just not disclosing that information, okay, then cool. Then yeah, you can get away with 2 or 3 times a week. But if you're talking about like some 70% type shit, and we know what happens when you catch somebody good, if they're not a close ass compadre that knows how to keep their composure, the minute you get the best of somebody or you happen to catch them good, here it goes. Now we turn up. somebody's getting hurt, and it's stupid. You're losing life, you're losing brain cells. It's not a good thing. So yeah, you're right about that, bro.
And you're right. It is on choosing the right sparring partner. As for me, I do like kind of sparring a lot. Just because I just like the real live action of like, you know, you don't know what to expect. You know
Right,
what I mean? I know I love training. I love hitting mitts and all that. But to me, like the live rounds where
it's the closest thing to the real thing. So you got to do it. You have to do it. What I favor though, Yuli, on that.
But you're right on like the intensity level. Some days we'll go a little harder than others. You know what I mean?
Right. What I would say to kind of complement that or to like sidestep that is, we choose a dope ass combo. That's our focal point. Okay, whatever it is, 1-2 body, chop the leg, whatever. Okay, but we keep it live in between.
You told me that one.
Yes, I know that was the combo you were talking about. When you said that earlier, I was like, that was the one. So that's why I mentioned it. So but we stay live in between that. So we do that combo because that's what we're trying to practice and get good at. But in between that, we're pity patting that 40-50% so that, you know, you got to practice the combo while feeling a form of chaos, while feeling the pressure of another fighter. Not just drilling, not just pads. I tell people all the time, bro, they fall in love with pads like it's the magic sauce. It's not.
Do you hit them back with the pads?
Fuck yeah. Not only that, I wear my shin guards and I tell them wear their shin guards so that they can really kick me hard. Right. And I don't ask, when I ask for kicks, I don't block it with my, if it's high. If it's high, I block it with the Thai pads. Right. If it's not, I let them kick me direct so that I condition my legs. I can take some nasty kicks, bro.
Oh shit!
Because they're always kicking me. Yeah, I let them kick me all the time with shin guards.
I remember back in the day when damn, I just remember back in the day fucking training, bro, and I'd go home with fucking, I couldn't move for like 2 days.
Yeah, I know. Fuck. MMA is grueling, bro.
It is all good.
And wrestling is the
Shout
toughest
out
of
to
all.
all the MMA guys out there, brother.
Yeah, this card this weekend was crazy, man. Did you get to watch it?
Bro, I saw the fights. I saw up until, what the fuck did I see? What was the last one? I saw Henry Cejudo was the last one I saw, and then I was at my boy's crib. I drove home. I missed the rest. But I heard the news on the way home. My son was watching on Sports Center.
Yeah, I mean, the main event is just tragedy. It's just fucking what a weird way to happen. But it is a win.
With Pantoja.
Yeah, with Pantoja. Yeah, I'm sorry, that wasn't the main. That was a co-main. My apologies.
The main was Yan and
Peter Yan. That was an awesome fucking fight, dude.
Peter
what
Yan,
a war,
dog,
bro. Dog. It was a war, bro. We were tuned in hard. It was a great fight. I'm a
fan of both of them, but you know.
Yeah.
Peter's a dog.
Listen, I do love when there's certain domination, especially when a fighter keeps getting better and better, and that is 100% of Merab. But not gonna lie to you, I do like when people get dethroned sometimes because I want to think in this game.
I'm huge for the underdog, bro.
Yes, and the underdog. Yes, of course. That's been our life, bro.
I'm the fucking underdog, every time. You know what I mean? I go my heart more than my guts. That's why I'm not good at betting. That's why I don't bet.
Yeah, because it's like being a Dolph fan, bro. I'm gonna keep thinking we always got a chance, you know.
Exactly. Every year.
Yeah, but nah. But I was one of the only ones going for Peter. I was, and it's nothing against Merab, man. He's a great guy, amazing.
You know what's
champ.
funny is that I thought it to myself, like this was just an inner thought, but when I saw it was I didn't know about Pantoja and Van. I was like in my head, I go, oh shit, I think Van might fucking take Pantoja on this one. You know what I mean? And it was weird. Though, I mean, that shit was he didn't beat him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But whatever.
I hope he has a fast recovery. I don't know what type of recovery that is, but it was fucked off, dog.
It's crucial, dog.
Yeah.
And whenever you break a joint, that's different than a regular bone.
Yeah. They said he broke, I think, the ulna or something here. Yeah, and then it dislocated the elbow. Something like that, bro. I'm not sure, man, but it was a bad one.
Speedy recovery. God bless.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I already watched the interviews. That man's got already an amazing attitude towards it, you know. So he'll bounce back, but that's the fight game, bro. That's the fight game. Listen, when we were talking about traveling, I was thinking about this because I think you and I at one point when we were doing our business, we were talking about going to Costa Rica, and we were gonna try to pull it together, and we never did. Now I'm wondering, have you ever been to Costa Rica?
Yeah, I went in 2018.
See, I felt like we talked about trying to link up over there.
Yeah, I went to this place called Nosara, which is like bro, it's like a little dirt road, little town on the beach. It was gangster, dog. On the Pacific side.
Oh, okay, the opposite side. Yeah.
It was super dope. I was there, I don't know, I want to say like 10 days. The howler monkeys and shit out there.
Oh,
yeah. No, it was wild. It's a bunch of like small, they had like one kind of like, I don't want to say a big resort because it wasn't like huge, but like smaller little like yoga retreats. And
yeah. Okay.
So I was actually staying, I was with these people, the lady I went with, well, the girl I went with, her brother owned this place. And we went in a little group, and it was super dope. Everybody had like their own little room and pool in the middle. It was super dope. It was like a little retreat. And then the beach was a 2-minute walk.
Speaking of retreats, bro, I don't know why, but this just came to mind. Have you ever thought of doing like a ayahuasca type retreat trip? Is that something that ever caught your attention? I swear it hasn't for me, bro. All my peoples, yeah. I'm not trying to say that I'm any better than anybody else. I don't have like any demons I need to like, talk to. I don't know. I don't feel like there's anything that I need to just get out to do an ayahuasca trip. I don't feel any kind of yearning to it, but I like that people do it, and I love when I hear these crazy stories of what it does for them. Where you at on that?
Yeah, more power to them. I'm on the same trip as in like right now. My thoughts is like I'm cool. I don't need it. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. It's not something that really crossed my. Yeah, like I've heard it, and when we do talk about it, I'm like, I'm good right now. I don't think I'd do it. You know what I mean? I think I don't know. At the age I'm at, I'm like I don't want to, like, I don't need any drugs that kind of clear my mind and everything. You know what I mean? I don't need that experience. I've heard about the experience, and it's rough. So I don't need that experience to go through anything. I'm happy with life, dog. I'm happy with how life is.
I'll tell you what, though, bro. But I think it's more. I'm not trying to correct you. It's just my opinion. I think it's more
looking for answers. You know.
Well, yeah. But what I was gonna say is, I don't think it has anything to do with age. I just think about where you're at in life when, if and when you choose to do that. You're in a really good place, man. You're happy. You're in an amazing relationship. Your son is fucking, flourishing. Everything's going good. Family's all good. Business is good. Right. You're slowly transitioning to other phases, even though you still got plenty of fight. So you're in a good place. And I think that's what speaks volumes. Like, there's no reason to have to go into this deep dive of a high of some sort to find something that's.
I don't need to figure anything out. I feel great.
Yeah. But I do hear some amazing stories for some people who do it, and it does really help them in some shape or form.
I've heard it's like great for like PTSD and all that as well. So.
Big time, bro. Yeah. You know what, man? Shout out to Mike Schmidt. He was a podcast guest of mine, maybe like 2 years.
Rapper Mike Schmidt?
No. Mike, no, I don't know who that is. This guy's he's a personal trainer, almost like celebrity-wise, but not like real celebrities, but just high-end personal trainer, but dealing with professional bodybuilders. So that's what I mean by celebrity. But on the side, and he doesn't like to talk about it much because he it's, I guess, illegal to an extent, but he does.
Might have to bleep this out too.
No, not at all. He came to the podcast. We did it. We talked about it. He does psychedelic therapy. He does psychedelic therapy, and it's amazing to hear the stories that he was telling in regards to how he would change people's lives with 1 or 2 sessions. And he was just giving them a certain amount of like mushrooms. He'll make it like in a tea or some sort. And it was probably the equivalent of, I think he said on average, like 2 grams, maybe on the high end, depending on who it was. And it was their second session, maybe 3 or 4, never past that. So it's not like some killer dosage. What do they call that dosage? Some dosage there is supposed to be a key number of grams of shrooms, whatever that is. But the stories that he was saying about what it would do for this grandmother who could not find joy in her grandkids when they were around because they were just running amok. Again. And she was just microdose. They found the perfect amount of microdose that she loves playing with them, and she acts like a little kid, and that transitioned her to want to get healthy or something because now she felt all the kiddie playing, physical playing. Right. So now she wanted to start working out. So she started working out. All that from a couple of those.
I've heard many stories where it unlocks something in somebody, from depression to motivation to anything. You know what I mean? So, I don't knock it, and I'm not against it. I just I
wonder how much Lex has looked into that. As far as regards to the PTSD, to help people out. Because that's getting bigger a lot. Yeah, it's getting a lot bigger right now.
Yeah, huge. It's being talked about a lot. I think they were saying like in Texas they're trying to do something like that.
Speaking of PTSD, I tell people I have such a big understanding for it, and I want to know where you stand on it because you did 2 years, right? I did 5 years. Okay, 5 years, a month, 3 days, and a wake up. We used to call it good morning, whatever. My PTSD, bro, that I do have is there's certain things that I immediately bring me right back to prison, and it immediately sets a fucking trigger like, fuck no, you're not going to take me back there. What is that? One, I can't shave my face clean. It won't happen. You'll never see my face clean You won't. Cause why? The motherfuckers forced us to do it. Remember, I went to a YO camp. You went to adult prison, right?
Yeah.
I went to a youth offender prison. We were on paramilitary rules. So they used to run us like, marching and fucking, we had to be clean shaved every day. So I hated that they forced us, and I hated looking in the mirror and being like, this ain't me. I used to have a little stupid goatee or a little fucking whiskers, whatever. I didn't like it, you know? So that brings me back. So I'll never get that. So ladies, if you're interested in dating your boy, that ain't never gonna happen. We can lower it. We can do a goatee.
Yeah, I want to tell you something. That, talking about this subject. Yesterday, I was in Everglades Correctional Institution right here, right by Miccosukee.
Yeah.
I have this dude, man. I call him Pops. You know what I mean? I was with him in prison back 20 years ago in 2004, 5, and 6, and now he's in Everglades in a parolee. He's been in 44 years. This dude, man.
Jesus.
And so last night, from like 4 to like 8 or whatever, families got to come in and have food with them and hang out. This is like something I didn't know about it. It just they do it every so once in a while for these guys who are parolees that are. Dudes have, like, his homeboy was there, done 50 years in prison, 35, 38 all these people in prison, whatever. Finally got like parole and are looking, doing these programs in order to get out. So yeah, man, prison's always been close to me, even when I got out, because I still got people there.
Yeah, you connected,
you know what I mean? And more than anything, the strength of and the love I have for my kids, and I don't want to be separated from them for no dumb shit, you know what I mean? And I went through enough dumb shit to know what it is to avoid it quickly, you know?
You know, when I was locked up, and even though it was at a young age, and then I remember, I don't know if you know, because I don't know how many times, but I got locked up 2 more times after that, all right? 2 9-month bids. The thing that I saw that people suffered the most were those who had kids.
Of course.
Those were the ones. And when I was locked up young, even the young fathers, when their kids were visiting them, that's what would break them. Then they would go through about 2 or 3 days of just depression after their kids would visit them with baby mama. And then baby mama, she'd probably eventually tricking on them and this and that. Oh, yeah. That's, if that doesn't motivate you enough,
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, and listen, when I got out of prison, I got out in 06. I got in trouble a ton of times after that, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, fucking, something that I thought was like the worst thing that ever happened to me, getting locked up in 2016, ended up being the best thing ever, because that through that journey, I got to get into fighting and try to turn my life around and find something, and I found this, which saved my life.
That's fucking crazy, bro. That is done that, but yeah, man, cheers to that. Cheers to that. And but yeah, there's even then. But going back to the PTSD thing that we were talking about, it's something that I now have and I would never compare myself to these fucking soldiers, to some a rape victim, a sex trafficking or human trafficking victim, or even somebody who lost their parent or something in some crazy way, where they witness it. Like, that's all different extremes, dude. Like, my heart goes out to them, because my PTSD, it's a stupid one in my opinion. It's like, damn, that really fucks with me like that. But yeah, I can't help it. I can't, I've dated a couple girls in the past, and I always told them, hey, listen, you can bring up anything you want that you disagree with. If you want to debate something, if you want whatever, just deliver it the right way. If ever I feel like you're checking me and like you're keeping tabs on me, you're going to take me somewhere dark, because right away I think prison. And not only that, I think probation, when I was on probation and I had to. So I'm very transparent about it. So think about that. That's some real bitch-ass PTSD in my opinion, and I'm admitting it. So my heart goes out to people who really go through that type of stuff. And if you can find a way to try to fix that, and apparently some type of psychedelic treatment is getting very popular right now. I'm not saying go do, ayahuasca over there in Peru or nothing like that. That's a whole deeper thing.
You can, why not?
Yeah, exactly. if you can, why not? Take that journey and come talk to us about it.
For real.
What's up, folks? Sorry to interrupt this podcast, but I had to take my time to remind you guys just how awesome you are. Thank you for continuously to show so much support throughout these 5 years of us doing what we do. Truly appreciate it. And if you do too, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the content, hit that thumbs up. Matter of fact, if you want to show a little bit of extra love, how about you send this link to a friend? Truly appreciate all the support. Now let's get back to the show. Yuli, I remember when you had, by the way, man, I know it's random as fuck, but shout out to Too Nice.
Oh, yeah, man.
he was definitely a connection that I had fun with. I haven't seen him for a while, man, but he's a great dude. You guys had a podcast together for a minute there. Don't Blink.
That's right.
That was fun. That was fun. A good run right there that you guys had. I watched every episode. I think literally every episode. Matter of fact, I still see the chiropractor.
Dr. 305.
Yeah. I see him at my gym all the time. I always say what's up to him, man. Shout out to him. But something that y'all used to do, and I used to love. That was one of my favorite parts. A topic that I'm fucking hold dear, you know, and literally last night, my fucking friends that I love so much, you pieces of shit, they always like to try to ruffle my feathers when I bring this up. And it's not like I'm not trying to start a cult. I just want to, where are you guys at now with the amount of information that seems to be coming out? You know where I'm going with this. Let's talk about these UFOs, bro.
It's funny, bro. I was just looking at that alien.
Where are you? It's fucking great, dude.
That was wild. Dog, have you seen Age of Disclosure?
I just came out, right? Yes.
Have you seen it?
My brother saw it, and now he finally gave me some shout-outs. He said, man, it's pretty good, Wes. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're kind of coming from. No, I haven't seen it yet, but I saw everybody who made it, the director, the people who were on it, the people who were interviewed and were spitting shit. So I almost know every bit of what it is, but I haven't seen it yet.
To see it.
I'm going to, bro. Tonight I'm watching it. Watch.
Yeah, it's great. It's very fucking convincing, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to see that and be like,
so, but before that, you were pretty on board somewhat, or at least you were fantasizing for it. Like, you liked the thought of it.
I do like the thought of it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, I've just always thought, like, again, the thing that everybody says, dog, with so many galaxies out there, there's billions of them, dog. You know what I mean? And then there's so much, like, weird shit that comes up, but people, they kind of sweep under the rug. It's like conspiracy theory type shit.
Right.
So I don't know. I just always thought there was something there. Have I ever seen something? No, I've never witnessed anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've seen some weird shit in the sky like everybody else has.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen an alien. But Age of Disclosure, with the people that talk on it, high-ranking officials, you know what I mean? Show their face. People who were like on, you know, very high positions in NASA and all types of shit. Come on and tell you, yeah, but we have the fucking bodies and we have the crafts.
So was it enough to convince you? Are you on board? Are you believing it? Because, Yuli, listen, we can ping pong this bullshit all fucking night. If you don't see it yourself,
yeah, I'm
you're going to go through somebody.
I'm believing it right now.
Okay,
bro.
so now,
I'm believing it right now that they have something.
Being that you do, right, why do you think that the government doesn't want to disclose it? Like, can you side with them? Do you see reasons why?
Yes. This is they brought this up in a documentary, and I was like, damn, I think that is a good topic.
Okay.
Yeah, economics. So if people find out that there is aliens and there's a possibility of us fucking dooming or whatever the fuck may happen. You know what I mean? If
there's so many different scenarios.
Yes, exactly. But there's some type of you know, global fucking scare. I think everybody's gonna pull their money out of the banks. All these big people are gonna pull their money out of the banks, probably out of the stocks. You know what I mean? I don't know to what extent, dog. I'm not a banker. I don't know any. Maybe I'm fucking talking out of my ass. This is just what came to my head.
Did they mention something like that?
They mentioned economics. That's all they said was economics. And what came to my mind was, yeah, bro, if people get scared, people with big money start pulling shit out of stocks and they'll make the whole balance of the market, you know, fucking, who knows?
Right.
Another 2008 where shit crashes because people are taking the money out of everything.
Let me see if I can go on a different level. First of all, I didn't expect that answer, and I would never have thought that the documentary, as good as it is,
it's not about money.
No, isn't it always, right? It always somehow fucking falls on that, dude. That's wild, man, because that is the truth. Don't ever forget these people. We live in a monetary system. Doesn't matter if it's the euro, the yang, the American dollar, whatever it is, whatever it is. We live in a monetary system. Therefore, whoever has the most is going to play the biggest influence on the world. They will be your shot callers, your lobbyists, your whatevers. And if they want to get their hands first on the retrievals, spaceship craft retrievals, they will, and so on and so forth. Now, here's what I want to say though. I think, and if, I don't know if they bring it up. Everybody has a religion. Most of the world is religious, and those who are really, really, hardcore about it to an extent. I'm not saying like, Jehovah's Witness knocking on your door type shit, but you got your Muslims, you got your Judaism, you have your Christians, Catholics, and whatever other big ones. That's gonna be a ginormously hard fucking pill to swallow if the government comes out and the world is to believe that extraterrestrials do exist. Because now they got to think, okay, well, how does this work? You know, what does this do to
us? God play into it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, not a big deal. God made them too, just somewhere else, another solar system. It's not a big deal. Okay, cool. We'll leave it at that then, because I think that's going to rattle it so hard and it cause a ripple effect, right? Then you have, again, think about what happened with the pandemic. I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in Miami, motherfuckers were ready to fight over toilet paper.
Yeah.
Toilet paper was the first goddamn thing that went, if motherfuckers could not wipe their ass or shower or something wild, that was the biggest thing that was yanked off the shelves, toilet paper.
Yeah, it was wild.
When you see that's our reaction as a society, the majority at least, not all of us, and you think, oh my God, can you imagine if I told them there was a chupacabra? Can you imagine if we said, yes, Bigfoot does exist? And that's nothing, you know? People are having a hard time believing that they're bringing back woolly mammoths. You know they're doing that, right? They're doing that. And some people are like, what? What the fuck?
They brought back some wolf.
Yeah. The dire wolf. That's
dire
wolf. Yeah, that's dope too, man. Joe Rogan had a great one on with those people. So imagine now scale that up to the highest level and say, yeah, there's other aliens. There's several groups of them, and we do communicate with them, and they're kind of here.
Well, listen, to me, this whole conspiracy theory goes back to I'm obsessed with the Egyptian shit too, and the pyramids. You know what I mean? And that ancient fucking people that lived in that time, we can't figure out how they got their put their shit together.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
in our age, so I think all that plays a key hand, and I would love, what I would love more than anything is whether there is or isn't, is that you kind of want answers for these unknown things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if we'll ever get them, but that's really what the hope is for me. When, all right, yeah, okay, there's aliens. Okay, we're gonna just what else is behind this? You know what I mean? What? I don't know.
Another hard pill to swallow is, imagine to the physicists of the world, the scientists of the world, the nuclear engineers, all these top dog fucking nerds of nerds who, do all this wild shit. Everything they've been taught is now wait a minute. Because, again, remember, if they do exist, which we're going to vibe with, they do. If they do exist, how in the hell are they traveling? It's breaking our laws. So that right there is another big pill to swallow. It's wait a minute, we thought we had it all figured out. Speed of light, fucking how to break the sound of barrier, barrier of sound, all this other stuff. That big ass thing where the atoms are hitting each other to recause the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
That thing, that we are at our highest in intelligence, and yet this is gonna flip it on their ass. It's gonna be wait, what? You motherfuckers travel through dimensions? Wait, your body can go through that type of traveling and not get distorted? Wait, you're not really verbally talking? You're fucking telepathically communicating with me? The fuck is going on here? This is, how can a scientist at the most highest scholar level accept that?
Yeah.
You feel me?
I mean, listen, and nobody knows. Yeah, and I'm sure even with the people that are working on that right now are still trying to figure it out themselves. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Who knows? There's no blueprint for this. You know what I mean? This is all fucking brand new.
Right.
So, but you got to watch Age of Disclosure. It's fucking badass. And they say a lot of things. One of the things they said, they're oh, why isn't there any clear video of UFOs? And they're that they're traveling inside it's kind of like an air bubble, because they're going through fast through dimensions and shit.
Exactly.
That it's blurry. It's hey, look, if you're underwater with a fish and you take a picture, you get a good picture because you're in his world. But if you're taking a picture, you're standing on top of the water trying to take a picture, it's gonna be distorted.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. So I thought the same shit. I'm that makes sense. You know what I mean? Right. But maybe I'm being stupid. But hey, that's, you know what I mean? It's very compelling. You know what I mean?
What I don't like, and this was some of the debates that I had in the past, not last night, but in the past with my peoples, was I hate when people try to discredit credible ass people. You're talking about somebody who was in the armed forces for 40 years and he was in the special space force. You're talking about a dude who was, an admiral. He was only one stripe short of the highest rank for the Canadian military force, and he said, look, I'm retiring, and before I retire, I want to tell everybody something that the world should know. And then he spilled the beans. When these people are such credible people that they know it would ruin their everything that they worked so hard for.
And it still does, even if it's true, it still like ruins them.
Right, because how dare you? You went against the code. You went against the grain. You weren't supposed to do that, regardless if it's true. So, but it just angers me when other people try to say, well, what's that guy's story? Who's him? What do you mean who's him? He's 40 years in. He was fucking. What do you mean who's him?
It's not getting deeper than that.
What else do you want? Again, if we're gonna play this ping pong game of until you shake the goddamn alien's hand, you're not gonna believe in it. You're not the person to talk about this with.
No, by the time it happens, it'll be too late for you. You know what I mean? You're not keeping up with the times.
Something that I haven't seen, but I heard was great. The documentary, because you got to pay for it. And I don't know. I ain't cheap, but I'm frugal. The one of the story in Brazil. When the alien crashed and they
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, buddy, there was a dude who actually helped the alien body, helped them into the fucking building, and then that dude that died, because of the cancer shit that hit him. And,
I heard that.
Again, they interviewed these people. I think 15 years later, they were kids back then. They all still had the same story. They're all still fucking PTSD about it. They all remember the beady red eyes and all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stories out there like that. Like some American dudes, they were like construction guys. They were like fighting. They had like a fist fight or something, and then some beam of light came and took like one of them, and the guy appeared like 4 days later or something.
You're talking about the famous story of Travis.
Something like
Travis. Fuck, now I can't say his name. But yeah, they made a movie about it.
Did they?
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome story. Yeah, they had a fight, and they were tree cutters.
Yeah,
they were loggers. They were loggers. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Travis Walton story. That's what it was, and it was called Fire in the Sky.
Yeah,
that was the movie. Yeah,
wild, bro.
Great movie. Yeah. And they did lie detectors, by the way, all of them.
I know, and one guy he had problems with. Like, there's no reason that guy was
exactly,
for him,
exactly. Yeah. See, when you got those type of stories, it's like,
it's wild. It's wild.
Come on, man. What do we? I'd never want to play the sucker. And when we used to talk shit about suckers all the time, duck ass nigga, like the type of shit we say. No, we don't want to be those suckers, but bruh, come on, man.
Yeah, some shit is pretty convincing.
Yeah. I mean, unless you went to prison, please take my word when I tell you something about prison. Take Yuli's word when he tell you why we were there. What else do you want to do? You want to go to prison? No, just take our word. What we tell you it's like,
exactly.
is the same thing.
Why would I lie?
Yeah. And I think the same with this. But tell you what, if we were to entertain that, just going a little bit deeper, and then I'll let you go on that because I know you got some plans tonight. If we were going to accept that, the story is, because I've gone down, many rabbit holes. The story is that they have 4 different races confirmed. 4 of them. They got the Nordics, which look like us, and they're like blonde, but they're like a little bit more stretched out, a little slender. They got the Grays. Everybody knows that's these people right here, the homie. I forgot the other 2, bro. And then one of them is kind of like...
Yeah, I heard them. They were actually talking about it the other day.
One of them is kind of like delinquent. They're like the outcast. They're like, they don't fuck with everybody, you know?
No, I didn't know that part.
Yeah. One of them is supposed to be like, kind of like...
They actually talk about it on the documentary, but they don't talk about like that. But they do name the 3 or 4 people, different things that they have.
Yeah.
Different creatures, yep.
Yeah, that's
wild, dog. That's wild.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what... Somebody who's really leading the charge in that is Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
Him and the old man.
He's the guy who does the documentaries and shit.
Yeah. The old man too. That's always doing the podcast with him. Yeah. They're big on that. Again, this is why podcasting is so important, bro. This is why I love doing this. I really do, because without platforms like not just mine but the bigger ones, basically Joe Rogan and all those boys.
That real information is not getting out.
It's not going to get out. It's going to be so difficult to find it, and you're going to have to put in extra, just a whole shitload of effort to find it.
You still won't find it.
Exactly. It's going to be a specific page, and then hopefully it didn't get taken down because of this, because of that. So when you got podcasts like that who are willing to say, fuck it, whoever wants to believe it, it's dope. And this is why these conversations, it's a need be, and we'll see what happens in the future, bro, and then we'll touch bases on it again.
Let's do it.
Yuli, man, I got nothing but the biggest and most love for you, my brother, and that'll never change, man. Can you tell people where to follow you, all your handles and everything, and what you got coming up and all that good stuff?
That's it, man. It's nothing but love for you. You my brother from another for a long, long time. Man, you can find me on IG, Yuli_monster. That's every really handle that I have on everything. Shout out to Accident Medical Group, AMG. Those are my people. West Miami Jewelry. Jose was just on here. Check out that episode too.
Yes.
Shout out to the Black Sheep Perspective, man. I've been here since day one. I know the Black Sheep from before it was the Black Sheep, and it's amazing to see where it's at. You know what I mean? Like I said, you took it from the living room to where it's at now. You got your own spot. doing your thing. I'm very proud of my people.
You played a big role, brother. I really mean that. You played a big role in many ways, man. You really taught me a lot about networking. Yeah. And I've always said that. I told Jose that. I've told, little Serge that. Whenever I've spoken about you, I said, man, one of the biggest things that Yuli told me was, bro, you got to collab. You got to work with your people, and when you network and you work, if it's the right people, that circle's going to support you. It's going to fuel you. And I feel like that's happened, on a light scale with me. And it's definitely, that's why Miami's behind you.
No, absolutely not, man. And again, it's the love is reciprocated. I put it out there and it's coming back to me, man. And life is good. But yeah, thank you again for the opportunity, my brother.
I appreciate you, brother. Hey, guys, stay tuned. Make sure you show some love. Follow him. He'll have a fight coming up soon. We'll get the news first. Peace. Take care.